Right guys, welcome back to another video. We are just doing a bit of a roundup really, aren't we? Obviously, it's good to get back in the rhythm. December feels like a lifetime ago, so yeah, took a little bit of getting used to, but I think it went well overall, don't you?
I think it did, yeah. There was a good feel about it, I think. Lots and lots of bidding. I think it just proved a point that proper stuff makes proper money.
Yeah, as always.
It boils down to, doesn't it? And as we walk up and down here in a minute, you and I can point out quite easily which ones are the proper cars to make proper money.
That's it.
This surprised me a little bit. I don't know about you. I picked this up.
I remember this one.
From some lovely people, absolutely genuine. As the vendor said, as far as he's concerned, everything's there because he took it apart and he hasn't held anything back.
What model is she?
It's a 2025.
2025.
I can't remember what body it is. It's gone out of my mind, but not the most attractive thing. But there's the money. There's the money here. This is it. They tell me a brand new head, bare head, £6,000.
This is it.
A built up, like a second-hand head, complete, £4,000. As one or two guys have said to me, it looks like a perfect head. It will be a good head because the guy is an engineer. He had all his equipment there, and if there was anything wrong with it, that would have been the first thing he'd have done.
Yeah.
So I'm totally confident. So if you think about it, take all that body off, junk that, and sell the grille. It's going to wind up with a Bentley grille, isn't it? And the chassis and the engine, the running gear, £4,000 or £5,000. Couldn't go wrong.
What did it achieve? Can you remember?
I think it made £6,000.
There you go then.
But we expected it to be stupidly go and make £4,000.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. But anyway, there you go.
There you go.
So I was interested to watch that one.
Yeah.
And these Rovers, I mean, lovely car.
Lovely car. Yeah, two nice cars. Two lovely cars.
Yeah, two lovely cars, and quite unusual and now a popular colour. It's called Lunar Grey, which in its day wasn't all that popular, but it is now. And I think it done okay, but I'm not over sure it got away. But I don't know. But
We've got the results. We can put the results on the screen. This one didn't it?
£20,000.
Yeah, I know. Did well. Did very, very well. But, yeah, no, it caused a lot of interest though during the viewing period. There was a lot of people gunning for it.
Always popular, always will. No question about it. Run by the government, as we know. Margaret Thatcher loved them, as we know. All the rest of it goes on and on. But they are a lovely looking car. I mean, the coupe particularly is a gorgeous looking car.
Stunning, aren't they? And the drive nice, don't they?
Yeah. And in the early days, you know, they were, it's weird how it goes this way, they were government cars, and they were doctors and surgeons and people like that, and Jack the Lads at the same time. Now that's the weird thing about it. That really amazes me, that most cars you would find when they come out for the first maybe 3 or 4 years or something, they're out of most people's price range, and they're that sort of type of demographic that can only afford, that can afford a lot of money. An expensive car, can afford an expensive car, that's what I'm trying to say. But then within a year, 18 months, the Jack the Lads had them. And, you know, my cousins, if you've never met, some might be lucky, they ran them, you know, and they look the business in them. They really, when I was a lad, I thought I'm going to have one of them.
It'd be the same as a lot of young lads running these BMWs now, really, aren't they? I mean, you can get away with it now, can't you, with finance and everything?
It must be the same thing.
But, there you go.
I didn't take an awful lot of notice of this one, but I think it maybe went around the £30,000 mark.
It was somewhere around there, I think, from memory. Yeah, nice looking car. Morgan did well.
I'm pleased for them for that, because they spent a lot of money. They took it to a specialist, didn't they? Saying
this was a bangers and cash car, by the way.
Bangers and cash car, and I drove it for at least an afternoon, and it is nice.
Oh yeah, you did some filming in it, didn't you? Oh,
but I couldn't live with the suspension. But that's me, and that's Morgan. You know, nothing wrong with the car. Car's bang on.
Is it?
Lovely, yeah.
There you go. No, it looks the business, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, guys, I'm really, really pleased to announce a partnership with Footman James. There we are. Look, the banner is there. They are the people you need to talk to for your classic insurance. They're really helpful. We've been recommending them for some time, and indeed we will continue to suggest and indeed recommend. They're super helpful, super keen, and do some really good deals. Simple as that. So, link at the bottom. Thanks very much. Be sure and give them a shout.
Do you think that might be one of the stars of the show?
I didn't see it actually go under the hammer, this one.
I think it probably was. Not money-wise, but the car itself, I think.
For what it achieved?
Yeah. I think it was around the 25 grand mark, something like that. But we've got one, as you know, and they've been 20 grand forever. And I wouldn't have been surprised if it had hit 30 grand, but it didn't. I don't think it did. I think it done.
What do you think to the colour?
Well, it's almost the right colour. It's nearly the right colour. They done this colour in the old days, as I've told you before, I think was polychromatic. It's sort of done polychromatic green, blue, or whatever, grey, dull as dishwater. You know, we didn't have the lacquer finish that we had then, so it might look good coming out of the factory. Within a few years, it had tarnished and gone right off. But the colour I remember was a little bit darker than this, but not far wrong. But lovely car.
A lovely, elegant shape, though.
Oh,
nice
beautiful car.
I'll tell you what was probably the star, that Morris Minor, that Traveller, what I auctioneered.
Yeah.
25.
What do you know about that?
I'll be completely honest with you, I hadn't even seen it. Obviously, I'm spending a bit more time up there now, so it came up and I saw the reserve on the sheet and I thought, blooming hell, that seems a lot of money for a Traveller. Anyway, I went and did nearly, I think it was 25, was it?
I think it was 25.
And I'm thinking, blooming heck, I hadn't even seen it. But apparently they tell me it is absolutely concourse, it is lovely.
But
then it's
colour?
British Racing Green or something, they tell me.
Metallic, I think.
Maybe you ought to go and have a look. I think it's up in Mix Shed. I hadn't actually seen it, but I just saw the reserve and I thought, Morris Minor's Traveller. And I saw the reserve, I thought, must got some figures mixed up here.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, apparently they tell me it's absolutely concourse and there was loads of interest, wasn't there? So
I'll check it out if I were you when you get a minute. I'll get one of the girls to check it out because I think you'll find it a world record.
Yeah, but it is near enough.
It might not be a world record for a Traveller. It might not be, but it's right up there. But I bet it's a world record for a Traveller sold at auction.
Yeah, very true.
But it is.
Yeah, very true.
What else do you think? Yeah, wherever you want. What about the tractor? That really don't work.
It's lovely.
It's
though,
funny,
isn't
it? When I don't know, farmers, old lads, and collectors, tractor collectors, they're a funny old mob, aren't they? I mean, we love them. Look at this. What an honest old thing that is.
They're great, aren't
they? We love them to bits, don't we? But oh man, aren't they tight and aren't they mean? You know, really.
What, the general...
Well, they are.
They
They are. I mean, before that come in, he'd have swapped the battery, put an old one on, wouldn't he?
Oh, I know, I know.
I'm surprised he had the air out the tyres.
I know.
And...
a bit like you.
A bit like me. And it's a bit crude, I know, but we also say to skin a fart and split a penny. Didn't they? But
it's
they paid up, I presume. It's a farmer-based collector, I don't know. But whoever it was paid up like about 15 grand, didn't he, for it?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was about 14 and a half, maybe, I'm not sure. But I mean, it is exceptional.
Oh, it's stunning.
And if you look round where it should be all pitted, where it stood around forever, it's actually very good, you know, it is pretty good.
Yeah, 14 and a half it did.
There you go.
Yeah, guide was 9 to 10.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely though, isn't it?
Better than they come out of the factory, isn't it?
Oh,
cosmetically.
Yeah.
Didn't come out.
Like you say, look at all the axles, the finish on all of that, where it should be all
pretty good, aren't they? You know,
pitted. Another.
Is there anything else here that you guess?
Trying to think off the top of my head, they all blur into one. You're up there and I get all flustered like, but I'm trying to think what we did a bit of filming on that. I don't know if the Lancia got away. I didn't know a great deal about them. Can't remember. What's model cost? Can you remember?
They make about 6 or 7 grand, something like that.
No, Bangers were looking at it.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
5-speed gearbox.
Yeah. The little
V4, aren't they?
V4, I think.
Yeah, I didn't see this sell, but this is a lovely car. You know, if I'd
nice car.
In a position, I'd have liked to have bought that. I think that's a lovely car.
Yeah, that's nice. Don't think this quite got away. I was nearly there.
Was you? Where did you get to, do you know?
I think, was it 18, something like that? I think he wants a bit more for it. He wants around the 20 mark, I think, maybe a little bit more than that. But
bonnet wants flat and polishing, doesn't it? But it's not bad. But it just shows you how the market's gone. This gentleman here offered me this, and I think a blue one, 3-4 years ago, and he wanted 40-odd thousand pound a piece for them when they were making 25,000 quid, easy. And I said, he'll never do it. So he kept them, and obviously sold one. This is the second one. So from 25,000 quid, they're now down to less than 20,000 quid. It
really?
Gives you an idea.
Yeah, I think it was 18, 19 it went to on the day.
This was a little, just before we leave here, this was a little bit of a disappointment, I thought, for me personally. That one there, I picked it up myself from Mervyn, they called him, 90-year-old, had it for 55 years or something on that sort of line.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, had it all these years, all them years, and I think he swapped it in. No, he didn't swap it in because he parked it up, sorry. He obviously parked it up, God knows how many years ago, and bought an Austin A30 and thought he was king of the road, which you would do, wouldn't you? What a guy, 90-year-old. He was here watching it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and he was a crop spraying pilot in Australia.
Blimey, no.
He was offered the opportunity to fly Concorde and turned it down. And an absolute character.
Got some stories.
Like, yeah, and when I went and picked this up, I heard through the grapevine that it was stuffed in a garage on a big slope. And I thought, no, here we go. It's going to be driven in, isn't it? And I've got to get it down this slope, or whatever this slope was, and all the rest of it. And when I pulled up outside, I looked up, and there I could see it, nose sticking out, not much of a slope, absolute doddle. We had, Phil and myself, cameraman, we had a fantastic 48 hours down there, and this is the result. And it only made 33 or 3,600 pounds.
Nothing, aren't they?
You know, which arguably it's its money, but I just felt it could have hit that 4, you know, but. I mean, it is a nice little box 7, isn't it? But and they don't come any more genuine. But,
no, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
But anyway, that's the market, isn't it? You know, as we said, there's a 1 or 2 cars buck the trend of the.
You don't have to spend much more for a lovely one, though, do you? It's at that awkward sort of position.
Good 7 or 8. I know there's not enough in it. I know that. But that's the name of the game, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. Very true. We proved that.
Anyway, there you go.
Good. Good.
Is there anything else you thought stood out?
I'm trying to think.
Didn't that make a lot of money, that Fiesta?
I don't know. I know the white one, the RS Turbo, that did well. Someone had the. Someone used to own that car. He was on for a telephone bid. Fortunately, I think it was too far out of reach for him. I can't remember where it got to in the end. But he was going to buy it back. He was trying to trace it down for all these years, and saw it in the sale.
That's the Escort?
Yeah, the Escort.
I'll tell you about that. We're going to go over there.
Yeah, we'll have a wander over there.
We'll wander over, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
But no, Escort over here, look. You got a bit of stick on Facebook for this, about wiping bonnet.
I got loads of stick.
Oh, blimey. I was giggling to myself reading some of them comments.
307 comments or something on it, yeah.
There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, isn't there? But I was reading a few and I was chuckling to myself.
Right, get some going.
I thought you walked into this one, like.
Well, the only reason I'd done it was because I think Christian said, can we have a little walk around it as a barn find?
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. And I literally walked around it like this. I mean, I ain't getting underneath anymore.
No.
And I just literally walked around it like this, had a look around it, and as I'm walking around it, I'm thinking, do you know, most of this will clean up.
Yeah,
you couldn't help
I said the exact same thing.
I mean, it's got all overspray of underseal and wax oil in it, and then I opened the door, and I still don't know how many miles it's showing, but I opened the door, I saw the cracked dash, which is unfortunate, and just shoved my head in, and that smells
right, doesn't
like
it?
a 3-year-old Escort.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, it does.
Yeah.
I know the front's collapsed, and we know all that, and all this, that, and the other. And then they were all saying about it. I don't know. They were on about rabbiting on. It's been used as a bench, isn't it?
Coffee table, right?
Coffee table, yeah. Put your tea.
Look at that though there.
We've all done it. And they were going on about. Oh, I think I must have said, a lot of it will clean up, clean it up, do the mechanics, and run it down the road and run it about, And they all said, "Yeah, you're mad, maniac, you'll never do anything with it." And I've just done that to prove a point. That's
I know you could. Yeah.
And there you are. And then since then, it's all opened up. Yeah,
once a week's worth of cleaning, doesn't it? And if it all came up like that, I'd tell you what, it'd be funny. Should have done it just to do it.
Yeah. Blokes have been saying you devalued it by $5,000.
I know.
And another one said you should have washed it. And the biggest, funniest thing about is that I used a bit of petrol to obviously get all the tar off. See?
Oh, there's petrol comments, aren't there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You can't polish a car with petrol and they're rabbiting on. What a bunch of idiots, honestly, they really are. But, oh, dear, oh, Lord.
It wants a machine polish now, mate.
So what it done, though, to be honest, it's not a bad thing because it G's up all the interest.
Of course it does. Yeah. Of course it does. It keeps everyone going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It keeps it all exciting.
But I'll tell you, there's a little car over here I'll just show you that
Go on.
I was tempted to have a go at. In fact, I tried to have a go at it, really. We got this 5K challenge on that.
You explain a bit about that. We'll have to follow that, maybe.
You don't seem to know much about it. I seem to be the only one who knows anything about it.
But the only person who knows.
The TV,
back on there, look.
Air TV said something about.
What are we looking at this?
I wonder how much better you could do if you, and all that sort of thing. And I said, I don't think we could do any worse than you, could we? And I said, if you want a challenge sometime, we'll have a little challenge then. You buy a car, we'll buy a car, you send it out, we'll send it out to our people, bring them back in, put them in the auction, see how they do. they said, all right, we'll do that. Then they came back and said, no, we'll do that, 5K max, right? But our people will do ours. Our people being Moreland, John Anderson, and one of the girls, I can't remember which one it was now.
What, work on the car?
Yeah, they're going to do that,
Right.
whatever car they buy, and you'll have to do yours. And I thought, not a big problem, is it really? And I thought, you're cutting your own throat here, like, you know. So I said, all right, we'll do it. And next thing I know, boom, it was all arranged and all the rest of it. I was assuming that they would perhaps come to you and your dad and your uncle and say, look, this is what we're going to do. And I don't think they've said anything.
No, I ain't got a clue other than what you told me the other day.
Right on my toes.
What, so have I got to buy a car as well?
No, I bought the damn thing now.
You bought?
I bought the E30. Well, this was one of them that I had my eyes on. Me and Charlie done a walk round.
And what's the A30 like, more importantly?
It's all right, it's a profit in it, like, but it got to about lot number 880 or something.
You're getting running out of numbers.
I was getting stressed, I tell you, I was getting really stressed. And I was really, in fact, if it hadn't been for that, I'd have gone home. I was getting really, really stressed. And then earlier in the day, very much earlier, I think on the Wednesday, lot number 22, is it, or something like that, 21, 22?
22.
I saw this old girl, and I thought, well, no one has ever liked them. You know, they're the ugly duckling. They're the elephant in the room, really. You know, no one talks about them because all the conversation you ever had about a Mayflower was derogatory, you know, so no one spoke about them, really. And then I looked at this whole thing and I thought, do you know, it's sort of got the makings of a tidy-ish old car, really, if it come cheap enough. And I'd got like 1,800 quid in mind, which is exactly where it went in the sale. But obviously not enough money. And anyway, I checked it out and had a word with a guy, and he wanted 2,500 quid, and I said, no, that's way too much money. So, cut a long story short, I bought the A30, but so this was going to be in the challenge. Oh. But
we got an A30 instead.
If you seriously want to win, I think you'll perhaps buy it anyway, because and put it in instead of the A30. But anyway, whatever. Look how good it is here, though. Look.
Yeah, it's a good car, good car.
So that's
anyway, that better do. We've been rabbiting on.
Yes. Yeah, come up here to Pickering 3 now, isn't it, Mick? You've been
Unit 3,
set down the scale, haven't you? Jack's gone off to see a customer or two, so I'm just going to continue myself for a short while. And notice the E-Type here, which was, again, most definitely one of the stars of the show. Lovely car, lovely colour.
I love the car, and I've always got a soft spot for these, Derek. They are an absolutely lovely, stunning car.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Ferrari said it's the most beautiful car ever produced. So you can't be far wrong, can you, really? They are exceptional when you think about it. But made really good money. I think it was around about the 45 grand or something on that sort of line, which these days is pretty well unheard of for a V12 2+2. I'm not saying they're not worth it, because they probably are. Yeah. It's the fact, but the fact of the matter is they've been too cheap for too long, again, realistically. But it's the same Aston Martin syndrome. You know, what goes up comes down with a wallop. And that's exactly what's happened to them, you know. I mean, guys asking 60, 70, 80 grand for these 4 or 5 years ago, or probably less than that. And all they were doing was flying a kite. They were just trying to reel somebody in, aren't they? It sickens me, you know, because they buy a car at auction for 30 grand, take it home, put it up at 65. Well, you know, I know business is business, but there's a proper way of doing it and a greedy way of doing it, and a bit stupid, so serves them right. But so there's the result. It just shows you, as we keep saying time and time again, a proper car makes proper money. It's as simple as that. So a nice paint job. There's one or two little areas that would benefit from a bit of more flattening down than that, but I mean, that's being picky Mick, isn't it? Generally speaking, it's lovely, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Interior's lovely. They're the right model. They're basically unbreakable, these V12s. They're fantastic. They raced them in standard form for a while in America, you know. They are that quick. And I remember my one, that I ran for quite a long while, manual one, just like exactly the same but in white.
Manual, yeah.
Yeah, and I could go from 20 mile an hour to 150 in top gear, just like that. It's so torquey, unbelievable. So yeah, brilliant car, love them to bits, beautiful example, deserved to make its money, still not dear, realistically.
No, it's not.
So great car. What else we got? Yeah, this here is. Yeah, I know. You know, we years back we laughed and we joked and we took the mickey out of Lada dealers, mainly because most Lada dealers were very secondary dealers, weren't they? They had a little site doing used cars, just like we did, and then you take Skoda or you take Lada, as a bolt-on and that sort of thing. Some of the bigger firms, I know they had like Vauxhall and then Lada over there in the corner, didn't they, and stuff like that. We know all that. But they actually weren't a bad car, Mick, were they? No. You know, I mean, I bought my dad one, real low mileage, and he loved it to bits. And but it is attractive, isn't it, for a Lada?
6,000 something.
Did it? Yeah, it deserves it as well. It's good. It's really good. Down here, what else we got, mate?
Lotus alarm.
Little Lotus, yeah, minis everywhere, aren't they? Of course. I just seem to remember listening to this being sold, and I don't think it was over dear, but I can't remember where it got to. Maybe 6 or something like that. I'm not over sure. Yeah. From what I could see, one of the cheapest cars in here was that 444. And if I'd have been in the market, I'd have bought that. Yeah. Because I reckon that's a nice car, a real straight old car. A little bit of a brake issue, I think you find, Mick. But generally speaking, not a lot wrong with that old car. No. Nice old thing. Straight inside, nice straight body. I like that. Anything else you can think of that sort of sticks in your mind? This here, the old Jowett. I think you find our mate Gary might have bought that. And was it a passion wagon of some sort? Is it? I don't know. But what do? You either love them or hate them, don't you? You know. I mean, I've heard stories of these little 2-cylinder, and I've heard stories of them dragging in 3-ton Bedfords that are broke down. They're just amazingly powerful. Amazing. Don't know where to get the power from. I'm pleased that got away. That made $2,000, that little car. And, you know, we're always looking at nice, bright, brilliant looking cars, really immaculate and that. You know, let's not forget the work cars, you know, that people buy to work on. And I think that's so important. Now, a friend of mine bought that and got it to that standard. Mechanically, spent a fortune on it. $2,000, I think he spent mechanically on bits and stuff. So he's put a lot of work into it. And I bet that car drive really nice. There's a gearbox in the back, a second-hand gearbox to go in because it slips out of, I think he said third. There you go. Which is not a big problem, is it really? I mean, chuck a gearbox in. So basically it wants a hood cover and a repaint. Yeah. And I think it made $2,000. Apparently it's a genuine convertible. So if you can either get the paint job done cheap or do it yourself or whatever, it's going to make a good car, and a sensibly priced car. You know, you won't go far wrong with that. Solid old car generally. So I'm pleased that we have 1 or 2 bits like that in because we want to try and serve everyone, don't we? You know, we don't only want the knobby guys, you know, like tight trousers and pointy shoes. We want someone in an overall, don't we? You know, that's what we want. So, and other than that, down here, Maxi I think got away. Actually, the Maxi done well.
It did do well,
yeah. One of their TVs, wasn't it? And I think that done really well. I think it was around the 2,800 quid, something on that sort of line. I think it was. Something on. Was it a bit more? I can't remember now.
37.
37. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I thought it was more like 27. That was good. 37. That's all right. That's good money for that. I would think Air TV would be pleased with that, wouldn't they? Yeah. That's good. Oh, lovely. That's okay. Had a few rollers. Oh, the rollers that made the money is the one that's gone. That green one, that metallic green.
One went out Saturday.
Yeah, what a car.
The man was over the moon with it.
I bet he was.
He says to me, I'm over the moon with it.
20 grand.
Check all levels for him. I said, you'll enjoy that car.
Yeah, he will. 20 grand. Lot of car for the money, aren't they?
Yeah,
that looks a nice old car, doesn't it?
That made, was it 7 something like that?
Is that all? Did it really? That's cheap, wasn't it, really? This one here, I sold this to a guy in Stokesley, this Bentley.
Oh, right.
It done, I don't know. It done okay. It done all right. I personally think it should have made a bit more, really. You know, a lot of people were making a big song and dance about the roof.
Yeah.
It might even flat out, mightn't it, Mick? But you know, it's only the roof and the boot wants painting, isn't it? Yeah. Really, the rest of it's nice and.
It's not end of the world, is it?
No. I think it was 22, 24 grand. Not a dear car, was it? Not for a Bentley. You know, it's. I mean, if it had been a Rolls, it might not have made quite as much money. It's funny, isn't it? Now that Bentley's initially a cheaper car, and now making more money than a Rolls, but you know, it just shows you supply and demand, doesn't it? So I think that could have been one of the stars of the show. Personally, I think so. I think that was fantastic value for money. A lovely, lovely car. Lovely, lovely car. Yeah, beautiful, yeah. I didn't see the Riley sell. I don't think I saw that, but they're doing pretty well, aren't they? They're always a good, consistent seller, them. I think it might have been. Same stable, you know. I'm not sure. I think it could have been. guy we knew a long time ago. I think George. I think he could have owned the 2 cars. I'm not too sure.
8,006.
It's about right, I suppose, isn't it? Really, it's not far wrong. Interior's nice. This is where they go, Mick. You know, if you keep your eyes on when they come in and that, if they're bubbly on here, that's the worst place they go, right across the back there. Like. But that's good value on it, 8.6. Yeah. Someone's got themselves a good car there.
Yeah,
absolutely. By the looks of it, 8.6.
Yeah. It is a lovely car.
Yeah. And do you know what the Bentley made? That one? How much? 20 grand, was
20
it?
grand, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of car on there. I mean, I don't know how much that would have been new. What, would it have been 140 grand or something like that? I'm not sure. Been a lot of money, wouldn't it? And 20 grand.
When you're looking sad on that day, on the interior.
I know. I can't understand why we're not all driving one, Mick. I mean, but I suppose fuel consumption and fear of the running costs. I mean, that's what frightens us, isn't it? What's it going to cost to keep it on the road mechanically? If it had less of gubbins and all the bloody refinements so-called on it, if it had less of them, they'd be lovely to drive, wouldn't they?
Exactly, yeah.
But all this electrics and that, built to go wrong, isn't it? That's trouble. So yeah, it was. I thought the fire engine done a lot of money, didn't it? That fire engine. Did you see that, Sil? I thought it done a lot of money. That.
Yeah,
Here it is.
Was it in the 20s? That?
I think it was around about 20 grand, wasn't it, or something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's lovely and it's super condition. Ever so low mileage, isn't it? Which, because it would be, wouldn't it? That's the best thing about fire engines. If they ain't done a lot of miles, it's been a good thing, isn't it? For wherever they've been living anyway. But I thought it was about 20 grand.
Yeah, I thought it was about 20.
I thought it was enough money, but then again, I mean, it is a Series 1, and I suppose a nice Series, well, I know for a fact, a mint Series 1 will do 20 grand, won't it? No trouble, a little bit more even. And I suppose you could argue this is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. You know what? I can see why it made good money. You smell in there.
Yeah. It's right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Definitely right. Yeah.
Where do you go?
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely right. No, it's right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it now a bit more. Now I've looked round it really. I was comparing it with a standard Series 1, you know, truck cab sort of thing. But you know, I can see now why it made good money. It's pretty exceptional. Really good. Yeah, the Morris. Yeah. Oh, that's the one, mate. That's the one you were telling me.
That did really well.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're good value, aren't they? Yeah, well, I've had it on good authority. They're not making any more, so that's a good thing, isn't it? But then this here, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Really is.
Look at that woodwork. How nice is that doing?
Oh,
isn't it?
It is absolutely wonderful. Wonderful.
That's just as nice underneath.
Is it?
Is it on top?
Is it really? Isn't it beautiful in there?
Smells nice.
Oh, heated rear window.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a bonus.
Yeah, heated rear window. What a brilliant thing. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it really special. You got 4-speed or 5-speed, Mick? Do you know? 4-speed, I think. Isn't it?
I'll tell you what, that paint job's been a lovely job, hasn't it?
The paint job's absolutely fantastic. Yep. The only one criticism, it's a wrong colour. Other than that, everything is fantastic, isn't it? It is just absolutely amazing.
Jump in and go, and away you go.
Yeah. Yeah, servo, alternator, all this. Yeah, oh, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, no doubt it's gone to a guy that don't want to do anything himself. All he's got to do is polish it, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly, yeah.
You ain't even got to wash it down. Just get it delivered off, straight in the garage and polish it, isn't he? New windscreen rubbers, everything, Mick. Look. So I can understand it making a lot of money because there's a certain few guys out there, like I say, don't want to do anything today. No. Nothing. Don't want to check the oil. Don't want to do anything. Just take it to a show. Stand it there, let people admire it, and hopefully win something.
Sit there in the chairs, have a cup of tea, and where they go.
Yeah.
That's what they want, don't they?
The only one, I don't want to be pessimistic all the time because I'm not. I'm an optimistic sort of guy. Obviously, I wouldn't have been where I am today without being some sort of optimist. But the biggest downfall is the colour, isn't it? The colour is fantastic, but surely you're going to get a bit of criticism for the colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to get massive admiration for the condition and what it is. Massive. People are going to be absolutely gobsmacked and show that so they should. And the guy who done it obviously done it to his colour. Yeah. I've done the same thing on a Lancia.
The amount of people I was looking at this and admired this little Morris light and said, that is beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Which it is.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. It's absolutely, totally 100% concours, isn't it? Without a doubt. And as I say, the only criticism is that I've done the same thing on a Lancia Beta we got. I've done it Tudor green, Aston Martin Tudor green, because I love that colour. Very similar colour to this, which it should have been silver. Colour. And I knew I was devaluing it, but I wanted it that colour. Yeah. And this fella obviously wanted it that colour. Yeah. And the guy that's bought it don't mind.
That colour suits that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, if you could have had an option of that colour in its day, right, everyone would have had that colour. Without a doubt, Mick, you know, without a doubt. So, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. 25 grand. Beautiful, yeah. And I was saying to Jackie earlier, I think it's probably an auction world record. I wouldn't like to say whether it'd be a world record retail, because there's one or two Morris Minor specialists out there that charge the earth, don't they? Do, yeah. So, you know, they could have sold one for dearer, more money. But auction, I don't think it has been beaten. I struggle to think it'll ever be beaten. Really. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? So there you are. That's the auction, quick auction roundup for you. That gives you an idea of what we offered and sold at the weekend over the 3 days. We had a great time. 900 lots again, Mick. I don't know how many cars out of that. Be 450, wouldn't there, or something like that, whatever. And I don't know what the percentage rate yet is of the sales, but it'll be quite high. Yeah. You know, I was up there only for a short while. I passed on a couple, and I'm sure the other guys did. And there was a lot of provisionals, as we always have, but we tend to convert a lot of them provisionals. And don't lose track, guys out there, that up until very recent years, the national average for a car auction sold at rostrum, an actual hammer down, sold on the day at the rostrum, was as little as 65%. People don't realise that, but it was 65%. And there's companies out there that advertise constantly 92% sales rate. Well, we could do 100% if you screwed everybody down on reserve. But we work for the vendor initially, secondary for the purchaser. And you've got to be fair with everyone. You don't want to be ripping anybody off, especially the vendor. He's come to you to get the right amount of money for his car. Yeah. If you keep screwing him down, whereby you can advertise 92% sales, then sooner or later, you know, it's going to go through and you're going to get less and less people use you. So I like to think, whilst we've got sensible reserves, we do achieve the money that the vendor's happy with, and the money, generally speaking, that the car's worth, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. So we had a good 3 days. I think everyone enjoyed it. No doubt we'll get some more feedback as cars go out and whatever, won't we? But went well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. Is it March next one? It will be. March 1, yeah. End of March, I think. Yeah. Let's hope we can do the same again.